Get it straight from the expert's mouth on Ask the Experts with host Steve O. Every Thursday at 5 p.m. Talk 1470 is WWNN Pompano Beach and 95.3 FM W237BD Boca Raton, the Health and Wealth Radio Network.
What is the Del Walmsley Radio Show?
Welcome to the Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the health begins. I'm your host, Del Walmsley, and as always, we're working on your financial freedom.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show, Mondays at 5, Tuesday through Friday at noon on WNN.
The skills you can develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you an edge in the high-tech job market of tomorrow. The Guard offers career training to take advantage of your skills in science, technology, engineering, and math that can help give you a leg up to a high-paying and rewarding STEM profession. Get a head start on your career while earning money to pay for college. Log on to NationalGuard.com to learn about all of the STEM career opportunities in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard. Aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Now you can get Talk 1470 WNN on 95.3 FM too. Loud and clear, Health and Wealth Radio, WNN.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Are you ready? It is your time to take a few moments from your busy day to unwind, be inspired, and listen to the psychic insights of your host, empowerment psychic, Halley, Elias, a top 100 psychic, speaker, and author. Off air, be sure to connect with Halley at HalleyElias.com. And now, the Halley Elias Show.
Welcome, everyone. So glad you can join me this evening. I was thinking about this evening's show and what to share, because as you know, I do take phone calls, and you're more than welcome to phone in at 888-565-1470 for your personalized phone reading. As well, I try to share information that is empowering, that has to do with life skills, that gives you the ability to take better charge of your world, spiritually, physically, mentally. This brings me to last night on social media. I was thinking about what is it that I'm sharing, what is it that I'm doing, and in between, I happened to get a message from someone who brought up about one of my books, and I laughed because I forgot. Not that I forgot that I was in the book, not that I forgot that the book is out there, but I forget, honestly, to talk about my accomplishments. How about you? And I'll give you an example. This particular book is called Thank God I. It's a compilation series. It has leading authors, including Dr. Bernie Siegel. It's endorsed by Jack Canfield. It's volume 2, by the way. And it is a top bestseller in Amazon. It's on the high end, right? You would think if I have an involvement with something like that, I would be sharing. And this is what I'm saying. I forgot. I'm also included in another book, The Bridge of Deaths. There's a character that's modeled after me. Then there's my book, Treasures Within, and another. And I could give you several examples. What I'm trying to get to is we do things that have merit, that make us worthy. And yet, how often do we forget to share? The idea is we go to a place of, oh, that's embarrassing. I don't want to really tell anybody about my stuff. Or, well, I don't want to appear as if I'm bragging. Or I mentioned it before. Aren't people going to get tired of hearing it? But the truth is, we should be doing it for ourselves. We should be sharing our accomplishments, letting people know about our accolades, because it's important to hold ourselves in a place where we actually see who we are and what we're doing. And I'll give you another example here. If every day you're working really hard and you make a good living, and yet you are always feeling that, well, you have to put another 10 years in, or 15 years, or 5 years, whatever that time period is. And wouldn't it be nice if you could just relax and nobody's going to really remember anything other than the fact that, okay, yes, you had a nice family and you have a nice business, but that's it. What about those accomplishments? Remind yourself. See, when you go to a place that says, hey, I can do something. I can do something good. I can do something powerful. I've done something wonderful. And you have the opportunity to share that. It's not just about you. You then have the opportunity to share with others and remind them that they can do good as well. And it's not even about the populace in that moment. It really is about you and how you're recognizing your self-worth in your life. And as I said, many people, they just forget. They forget to mention, or they have those other reasons that I just spoke of, which means that there's discomfort. But why? If we think about society, society makes us feel as if we have to look and be the best thing ever since apple pie. If you're a woman, you have to look at a magazine cover that's been airbrushed and played with a million different times between the photographer and the editor to have an absolutely flawless complexion and perfect body. And if you're 50, look like you're 20. If you're a man, well, come on now. You can't have hair that's going away. You can't have bad posture. Your stomach has to be an 8-pack, 6-pack, 12-pack, whatever that number is. My point, society holds us at this very high level as to how we appear, and yet it doesn't help perpetuate our ability to see ourselves in the best light. It does just the opposite. We look at these models, we look at these illustrations, these indicators of how we're supposed to be and who we are, and it diminishes us. Oh, well, we're not tall enough, or our skin isn't smooth enough, or we just don't have that. Or isn't it nice? Look at them in that $20 million house. How wonderful is that? And they have servants, and I'm scrubbing my own floor. We always have something within ourselves that we can acknowledge, something within ourselves that reminds us of our value. Really important to take a moment and give some thought to, how do you see you? Not how does everyone else see you, not how is it based on environment or society, but how do you see you? If you've done something great, share it. If you've done something that you're proud of, share it. If you are in the midst of working on something and you think it's going to be amazing, don't share it with everyone. And the reason I say that, because you will find there are naysayers. Give an example. Somebody says, oh, I'm going to do an interview. Oh, that's very difficult. Have you ever been on the radio before? And even if you have, they try to give you a hard time, or they try to make fun of you, or there's a million reasons why somebody will come up with, you shouldn't do it. And they're not basing that information on who you are, your capabilities, or what you want to accomplish. They're basing it on their own fears, their own discomforts, and they're projecting that information. And I share this truly because there is nothing better than to find that you are grounded within yourself. When you have that ability to be centered, that means that you also have that wonderful capacity to connect with the divine, connect with all aspects of yourself, of your higher self, of that part of you that interacts with everybody in your world, that part of you that's quiet, that knows everything, that creates. It's taking what you have and creating entrainment, which a lot of times people only know about because they watch something and they say, okay, there's neuroplasticity and there's all of these programs where you listen to different wavelengths that help you to have that mind entrainment, where, in other words, the right and left hemisphere of the brain are working at a particular level to make things happen. All of that's beautiful, and you can get involved in all of that, and you can definitely see amazing results. What I'm saying, though, is just as effective is you making a commitment to yourself that you will share things that are important. You will share things that you've accomplished, that you will be okay with doing good for you. How often do you hear somebody says, well, my father never had any faith in me, or they didn't think I was going to amount to anything. Or my wife is unhappy or my husband is unhappy, and we can go down the list. My point being, other people obviously influence us because we allow them to. Yes. Do we want to be seen in a good light? Of course we do. Do we want those that we love to love us back and see us in a way that they're proud, that we make them proud? Of course we do. But the truth, if you are not comfortable in your own skin, then who's going to make you feel that way? I was out with a friend the other day, and we were talking about all manner of things, and we happened to walk into a shop, and there was a magazine about Kate Spade and a couple of other people who have recently committed suicide. And if you've been watching the show, you know that not that long ago I was talking about mental health. Mental health truly ties into spiritual health. And if you're thinking, well, that doesn't make sense, there's really no corollary. But there absolutely positively is. Because if you have faith in the divine, that you are going to be guided in the best way possible, that means that you have to have some faith in yourself, which means if you are looking around feeling as if you don't fit, then you don't actually have faith. That means you're not as tapped in as you would hope to be. Really and truly, observe yourself. And I'm not saying stop and analyze every single thing you do or think or say. What I am suggesting, though, is you take moments, even if it's only once a week, to ask yourself, what is it that I've done that's wonderful? What do I feel good about? And it's not about things. It's not about, well, I saved money and I bought that great car. It should be, if you saved money and you bought that great car, you're really enjoying it. It was really smart of you to put that money away to buy that thing that brings you so much joy. And how are you enjoying it? Not because of the thing, because of the outcome. Back to my friend and I, and you'll notice I do this whole 360 thing. I start somewhere and then I head back. When we started talking about these individuals who are in such a great place from the outside world, that is, they have lovely families, they are attractive looking people, they have money, they have acclaim, they have acknowledgement, they have everything, except they're unhappy, except they're not comfortable in their own skin. And that brings me back to what I said a moment ago, which is you are the only one who can make that happen. If you're feeling that you can't, that you're not in control, then seek out somebody who can assist, whether it is a spiritual counselor, whether it's somebody like myself who does psychic work and also does life skills, whether it is a life coach or it's a family member or your rabbi or your priest, whomever. But if you're not feeling as if you're connected to yourself, connected to this world, please reach out to someone, because it's not as difficult as you may think to get on track. I've been observing people for as long as I can remember. When I was a little kid, I would watch how people interacted with each other, with their animals. I literally would stop people on the street. I was about 3 years old, 2 years old, and I would sit on the curb. Mom obviously had an eye on me. And as people walked by, I would stop them and ask them their name and who they lived with and where they lived and what their animals were or their children were. And their responses gauged how I interacted with them. I haven't changed a lot in that regard. I'm really very aware of how other people do things. How are they interacting? And I typically, I'm going to pat myself in the back for this. Here, I'm acknowledging an accomplishment. I typically can spy if there is sadness behind somebody's smiling eyes. What about you? Are you looking around at the people you care about? My friend and I, as I mentioned, were talking. We looked at this magazine. It spurred a lot of different trains of thought. We went from one end of the spectrum to the other, from her childhood to my childhood, to travel, to people in the world, to successful people, to those that aren't, and how we each view things. For instance, if somebody is on welfare, how do you see them? Do you see them as, they're taking advantage of the system. They should go out and get a job. But do you actually know what's going on in their life? Do you actually know why they're not working or why they're not out in the community? Perhaps they lost a child. My point here is be cognizant, of what you see. Take notice of outside, take notice of inside. We're going to take a break. When we come back, if you'd like to chat on the phone, please give a call to 888-565-1470. Had to think about that once again. That's 888-565-1470. We'll be right back. Thank you. This is your empowerment psychic, Halley, Elias, one of the top 100 psychics in America. For over 30 years, I have offered psychic readings, programs, spiritual guidance, and other life skill techniques. As our lives have become more complicated, we often reach for answers. Who are we? Where are we headed? Are we pointed in the right direction? In addition, we often are concerned for our loved ones. I have helped thousands of people navigate their life circumstances through different modalities of spiritual and intuitive guidance. Call me at 561-755-2166 and allow me to further explain how I may assist you in clearing the path of yesterday so today and tomorrow will be a success. Call me at 561-755-2166 or visit my site, HalleyElise.com. That's HalleyElise.com.
You have been listening to Empowerment Psychic Halley Elise, a top 100 psychic. She is your connection to all things spiritual, psychic, and empowering. Your guide to peace and wisdom. For a private appointment off air, call 561-755-2166. Now, back to the Halley Elise Show with Empowerment Psychic Halley Elise.
Hi, if you were just tuning in, I went on my soapbox and I was sharing my thoughts on how we have to pat ourselves on the back and we have to acknowledge our accomplishments and also pay attention to others and notice when something is off with somebody. It's our responsibility as human beings to actually show humanity. Okay, I'm going to move on because I'm sure there's some people going, oh my gosh, she's at it again. I want to share that this Wednesday, which is the 1st, August 1st at 7:30 p.m., the Psychic Gallery returns. Remember, we're only having the Psychic Gallery 3 times a year at this particular point. We went from month to month to month for 8 years, and honestly, there's just not enough hours to take care of everything. It's shifted. I'd love for you to join us. Go online to HalleyElise.com. That's HalleyElise.com. And you can go ahead and get a nice entry that is discounted. If you show up at the door, it will be the regular price. Goodness. I was teasing earlier today. I had to do a presentation, and I said, there's somebody else in my mouth. Words were just giving me agita. It's all good. See, even with this, though, I do want to say if you're dealing with stress, make fun of yourself. If you can't do it, who can? And the truth of the matter is, if you let things go, if you make light of something, it makes your life so much easier, truly. Okay, back to the event as far as the Psychic Gallery. If you're thinking, well, the name sounds interesting, but I'm not sure what that is. Again, if you go to the site, HalleyElise.com, there are specific details, but I will share with you that you come in. We do a wonderful little exercise that helps you get centered, that helps you get calm, that also helps you shed all the stuff that you don't need, as well as helping to ignite your own intuitive ability. We do a little energy play, which is always fun. It's very experiential. We also laugh. There is a lot of joy and a lot of laughter at the events. On occasion, we have somebody who brings a dog, for instance, and will be right in the midst of something and want a response, and the dog turns around and answers. So you just never know what to expect. As well, I do my best to give everyone in the audience a reading. A lot of fun. It's here in Boca Raton, 7:30 p.m., August 1st, which is a Wednesday, and that is only 2 days away. I am going to say if you get a chance, get online today, get your tickets, 1, because it's discounted, and 2, I've already gotten a lot of folks that have prepaid, and it's going to be a busy, full event, and you'll have a great time. So do join us. Obviously, you know that I'm on the air on Monday nights. It's interesting how sometimes the phone is ringing off the hook and other times it's not. I do want to remind everyone as well, if you are listening via the radio or through the internet while you're doing other things, if you want to actually see the live video, we are on AMP2 TV, which is on Twitter, and what's the other one? Periscope, I believe. Yes, I was going to say Kaleidoscope, but I believe it's Periscope. As well on Facebook Live, if you go to my radio page, which is really easy, the Halley, Elias Show, radio and web TV, you can actually see the show live. As well, you can type in information or ask a question, and if it comes up on my screen over here, I'm always happy to answer. While we're still on the air, I will give out the phone number again. If somebody says, "Oh, I didn't realize I can call in this evening," of course you can. I've had people say to me, "Well, you were talking and I didn't want to interrupt." Don't ever worry about that. You are more than welcome to interrupt. The phone number is 888-565-1470. Okay, I covered what's coming up. Oh, you know what I didn't share? As I mentioned, Psychic Gallery is just 3 times this year, and I think I'm going to kind of stick with that for next year as well, but I'm already planning December, even though August hasn't come yet. It's right around the corner here. December, a couple of years ago, I had done a very different type of gallery, and I invited other people in to share their gifts as well as to help inspire us. We did a 3-hour gallery. We had music, we had food. I'm thinking about doing the same sort of thing. If you are listening and you're thinking, could be interesting, drop me a note. I'll be happy to share some of the details with you. And I'm looking forward to the next 6 months here, the next 5 months, whatever time it is we have. We are in what month? We're in July. Excuse me. I get into this space, forget all time. Of it being good. If you're living in Florida and you're thinking, but the weather is so hot and there's the storms and there's this and that, I do not feel that we are going to have a major hurricane this year. And I will say, as I always do, no matter what I feel, what I sense, doesn't matter if it's been accurate the last 20 years or not, make sure you take care of yourself. It's always smarter to err on the side of caution versus saying, oh, I don't have to worry about it. And I'll be honest, even though I'm confident in what I say in respect to storms, I still make sure windows are insulated, make sure there's no small projectiles around the house. It's, to me, just not a matter of belief, but more a matter of this is going to be the best way to make me feel comfortable, because the divine can change things at any time. And if you're thinking, but wait, you're psychic, so you're supposed to know that. Typically, I do. When I do a forecast, if I say something, I'm pretty confident about what the outcome is. And thankfully, the majority of the time, it is correct. But even if I'm correct 97 to 99% of the time, do you want to take a chance on that small chance when it comes to storms? Not a good idea. Anyways, just an awareness. I do not feel that we're going to have a major hurricane this year, so I am sharing that. But again, be prepared. It's always wise. And truthfully, even if it's just heavy rains that we get, or we get lots of wind, electric goes down, sometimes gas stations are closed, you want to make sure that you have what you need. And I know this is just July going into August, but it's just been on my mind and something to share. All right. As to you and how you see your world, if you want to improve what's happening, you want more abundance, and you've been maybe playing around a little bit with the idea of law of attraction, you focus on something, you give it some energy, you're expecting it to show up. Think in terms of movement also. The universe likes movement. Yes, you should get it into your mind's eye. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Take that emotion and truly connect with it. As well, speak clearly of it as if, and when I say as if, you want to purchase a house, it shouldn't be, oh, one day, sometime soon, maybe I will. No, it should be, the house I'm purchasing is. It looks like this. It feels like that. Get it so clear that it seems as if you're already inside of that home. Do it for yourself. You can do a vision board, or you can do something as simple as you take a piece of paper and you just write, this is what my house looks like. This is how many rooms it has. These are the amenities. This is the neighborhood. This is the cost. This, whatever you can think of to make it as descriptive and full as possible. That's what you do. And then, if you know the neighborhood, Go bebopping in the neighborhood. Spend some time there. Drive through and say, oh, I just love living in this area. I love being in this neighborhood. Again, the universe likes action. The same thing is true with relationships. Really, I can't tell you how many people I've spoken with lately who they are just exasperated. How do you meet a decent person? How do you meet a decent person that you're attracted to? There's the oxymoron, isn't it? You can meet somebody who's lovely and charming, and as lovely and charming as they are, there's just not that connection. So here too, think in terms of the person that I meet has that beautiful connection. I have that connection with anybody who is important to me. I have that connection with the person that makes me smile. Get into the idea of the essence and the connection between you and another versus they look like this, or this is their background, or this is their money, or this is what I'm going to do with them. All that's important, but more important is the actual essence. I was reading something the other day that was saying it takes a minimum of 15 seconds to start to create. And it's always been my feeling that if you want to start to create and you want to see movement, it's a little less than 2 minutes. You have to go with what your gut says is correct. I do know that all the time quantum physics is expanding and people are recognizing different facets and nuances, that new information will be revealed. Pay attention to what does your gut say. If you think, well, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to envision this life that I'm choosing to lead, and I'm going to do this for 5 minutes because it makes me feel good, then do it. Because it really is about that feeling. If you can connect to that beautiful feeling that motivates you, that engages you, that makes you seem as if you're already there, then you're doing the right thing. As to your intuition, everybody has intuition. Everybody has the ability to know things, to sense things. How often do we hear the phone ring and think, oh, that's going to be my mom? And it is. Or you think you hear the garbage truck outside, but you're thinking, no, that's odd. I bet that's a moving truck. And you walk outside, and sure enough, the neighbor's moving without letting you know. Pay attention to those things. They are there to guide you, to help you, to make your life easier. Each of us is so much more than a physical presence. I know that we live our lives in a very physical world, and that means we have to have shelter, and we have to have food, and we go to the doctor and ballparks and movies, and all of these things are very physical. The fascinating thing is, if we wanted, we could actually have all of those things just in our mind. You have the ability to connect at the highest or the lowest level of your consciousness and existence. You get to choose. Biggest thing to remember that I'd like to leave you with this evening, if you are unhappy for whatever reason, find someone or something that can act as the catalyst for your change, and then make the commitment to see it through. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you at the Psychic Gallery this Wednesday night. Have a great week, everyone, and thank you.
Remember to tune in every Tuesday on WNN at 9 p.m. for more peace, inspiration, and psychic phenomena with empowerment psychic Halley, Elias, Top 100 Psychic.